Hello, my sixth graders. It is Miss K, ready for another science lesson. If you haven't done so already, remember to do for science the oldest lessons first. Okay, so yesterday's assignments, you had a task 1 and a task 2. One was about thinking of goals you have for this quarter. The other one was about thinking about what your next unit is going to be about. I showed you a cover page of our new textbook, and I can't wait to see what you guys all think we're going to learn about. I've read a bunch of your goals so far, and I love them. There was attending more Zooms, getting some more grades up. Great goals. Do not forget about the goals that you wrote. We're going to revisit them in a few weeks, and we're going to be able to reflect in a few weeks how you're doing with your goals, if you're staying true to it, and improving your scores on everything. So, as always, I don't want this video to be too long, so we're going to get right into our new lesson. Here is lesson 1. As you can see, it's very similar to what our old textbook looked like. Some of these concepts, like our old textbook, are a little bit complicated. So that's why I like to read this with you. So we're gonna, very similar to last quarter, play posits, reading the textbook, watching a video, okay? So similar thing, nothing that new, just a little bit new content, okay? So today we're going to read this first page, and then we're gonna learn about what human impact is. Then I'm going to show you a YouTube video about human impact, okay? All right, so let's get started. Lesson 1, where should we build? I'll show this picture as well. Okay. Over the past 20 years, the population of Boomtown has grown sharply, which has caused school overcrowding. Now, the Boomtown City Council is trying to decide where to build a new school building. The council is planning on including additional sports fields at the school for use by the whole community. 3 possible locations for the new school and fields are being considered. As more people live in and use the resources of an area, the natural characteristics of that area can change. More homes and businesses are built, more farms and gardens need fertilizer and water, and industries make more products to meet the population's needs. All of these activities use resources and create waste products. In this way, the effect on the environment caused by population growth can be significant. The effect on living organisms and their non-living environment due to human activity is called human impact. So first new vocab word of our new unit is going to be human impact, which is the effect on living organisms and their non-living environment due to human activity, okay? All right, just to go over the reading quickly, Boomtown is a made-up city that the book is going to refer to, I'm pretty sure, the entire textbook. They're going to refer to Boomtown as just a town for examples, kind of like we were talking about when we learned about global warming and the atmosphere. Some of these science concepts in 6th grade are a little abstract, which means you can't see them. So we have to make examples. So we used examples for the greenhouse gases. Now we're using examples for something such as human impact. So we're using Boomtown. That's our fake city we're referring to understand specific examples, okay? They talk about school overcrowding. Overcrowding is just when an area, it's like an area, moms and dads have more babies, and then all of a sudden there's more kids. And when they grow up, there's more cars on the road. There's more phones being used. There's more things that people need to buy, more food people need to buy. So this is just talking about human impact. People growing in a city, and schools need to be bigger, additional sports fields. Kind of sounds like us in Salamanca right now. We're getting a new sports field. A goal, I have a goal too. You guys have goals for school. I have a goal. My goal for this quarter is to show and introduce some more higher level thinking graphs to you all because they're important throughout science in these next few years. So I'm probably going to throw up some play posit questions here, but I want to show this graph. If you were an A-Day student in my class a few weeks ago before the shutdown, you have seen this graph already, so it's a fresh reminder for them. But I wanted to show everyone this graph. So this is a fancy graph kind of talking about the reading that we just had, okay? It says human CO2 emissions, which is really just a fancy word for basically chemicals and items and pollution / pollutants that are in the air that are released due to human activity, okay? So I don't know if you can see my mouse, so let's do the draw tool. Okay. All right, so here we have human CO2 emissions in billions of tons, okay? So if there's nothing, we have 0, and then it goes up higher and higher. So just like our graphs, it starts kind of like the X and Y axis graphs. We have 0 starting here. And then here, down here, we have the year, okay? Then what we're looking at is human CO2 emissions or human pollution in the air, okay, over time. So first we're looking at the beginning of the 1900s, okay, 1900, going all the way to the 2000s, okay? So this is a graph over a period of 100 years. Here is the most recent, and here is 100 years ago. So we're comparing what humans put into the atmosphere from 1900s to 2000s. Okay. So as you can see, we see a little blue. But now, so we talked about human emissions here. We've talked about that this down here is the year. Now we want to talk about what these colors are here, okay? All right, so what we have is different items that are burning or letting off pollution into our atmosphere. So as you can see right at the beginning of the 1900s, there is some pollution that was let off. Okay, if we have our little marker here, there's some pollution that was let off. You can see the graph is like this much off the page. Then I'm noticing over time, as many years go on and on and on, 1950s, 1975, this graph goes higher and higher and higher in emissions that we let off. And there's more than one reason for this cause, but the reason that we want to focus on today is that there's more humans. There was about 1 billion humans at the start of the 1900s. Now there's over 7 billion people. So within this 100 years, we're letting off more dangerous items into our atmosphere, but that just comes from over time because there's more people, okay? Just like our textbook example described boomtown, overcrowding, there needs to be more schools and stuff. So this is just something that has happened in the past 100 years. There's more pollution being let off because there is more people on Earth. There's just more people than there was 100 years ago. So that's kind of where we want to go for this first lesson. I do have a YouTube video that's going to play next, and it is also about human activity, okay? So I hope you enjoy it. I hope I didn't make this lesson too long, and take your time on the play posit, okay? Answer the questions, complete sentences if there's short answers. And always remember, for science play posits, you can rewind the 5 seconds if you miss the answer to the question, okay?